And with that, hello everybody, welcome to another Minisode, our 6th anniversary of Dissonant Waves.
Damn.
We are 6 years into the bit now. I don't know when we're gonna stop playing chicken and just be like, hey, we're done with this, but we're still going.
I was planning 2032.
Yeah, episode 420.
Yeah.
Then we gotta get to
We still got a bit to go here.
get to episode 421, because then we'll have to see what the afterlife is like. Anyway,
Well,
it's me,
that was the only jokes we had for this episode.
Ritz and Trix
See you
are
next
here.
time.
I've got a very squeaky chair. I hope you can all hear this.
It is, I think it is picking up, yeah.
Yeah,
I have a
it's,
bag of cold fries and honey mustard.
We are in the final stages of before I move, and I need a new chair, but I can't really get a new chair. Oh, there's no point in me getting a new chair, sorry, until we move in. So I got this squeaky piece of shit for probably the next couple of weeks here. This will be really fun. Every time that I try to think and I move slightly to the left, I'm going to lose. Old train of thought.
That's fair. I need to fix my chair. One of the screws popped out, so it's over.
Are they calling you Boeing because you have a few screws loose and suck the guy off?
I haven't caused any incidents yet, but we'll get there.
So, what are we discussing for this mini-sode?
I thought it would be a fun idea because we started this show in like the late summer, early fall of 2019. It's been a number of years now. We still haven't maybe covered 2019 like we would a normal year in terms of how many things we've listened to. But let's go back and let's more fairly assess 2019 in terms of what we know now and what we listen.
Yeah, and in preparation for this today, I created a little playlist I thought would just be fun. As I've mentioned many times on this podcast, I do a top 100 at the end of the year, every year for songs, and that's what I consider the cycle to be based upon is, say for 2019, it would be December 2018 to November 2019, and I decided I'm just going to go through the list that I made in 2019, and I'm going to lazily redo it. This is a very unofficial list that I put out just kind of for fun on this of how would I probably rank these songs now, without really thinking about it, and removing a bunch of songs that I don't really care about anymore, or blah blah blah. I posted that in the rankings chat to see. There's not really any kind of like major reveal that I'm putting out in here, but there is quite a lot of changes that I put in there as well, and I'll discuss that probably throughout the episode as we go on. I don't think we need to spend a whole dedicated moment to it at the moment.
I did forget about December 20 being involved.
Yep.
Oh shit!
I didn't, and there was one song that I put on there. It's actually Mouse Saturi's Cable Television that I have put onto the list now. That is the December 28th, 2018 song.
I'm looking to see if I can find any missed categorizing of what came out in this cycle.
Yeah, it's gets a bit weird, especially since when we started, I was the only one who was doing that as a cycle.
Well,
Until-
Dominic does that. I'm going to post my rankings.
Which nobody can see these rankings. Oh, well, Dominic's signing. I'll mention a couple kind of big ones that I've done in my rankings. So, number one in 2019 for me was Local Natives. When Am I Gonna Lose You? That is a song that I still do quite enjoy a lot. But as I've done a kind of rethink about 2019, which was a pretty stacked year, I've moved that down to 15th place. I think it's still a top 20 song of that year. But I think there was just a bunch that came out, which I've now either discovered or have reevaluated. That is a lot better. And the number one song that I've now actually put in here, which it's one of those, I think it's number one of the year. without thinking too much of it, is actually going to be Glass Beach's Glass Beach.
Huh.
That's a song that I definitely think over the past couple of years I've gone back to and gone, no, this is a very impressive song.
That one of all their... Okay.
I definitely would say happily out of the whole album, that is my favorite song off it. Again, there is a couple. I would say like the top 5 that I have in there, and the 5 that I put in now, is "Losers" by Spanish Love Songs, which is a new one I entered into that. Title track from Origami Angel, Luca Brasi's "Tangled Content," and Pup's Kids are the other 4 in there. I think all those are kind of like the 5 songs that I go, okay. I think over the past couple of years since 2019, here are like the songs that I actually have gone back to quite a lot and hold in a pretty high regard.
Is there anything you would say that because of this show it's made a huge difference now versus then, most of all?
Well, yeah, Petite League's gone higher.
Hell yeah.
It's moved from, I think I had it at like 68 or 67 or something. Maybe even 69.
Nice.
In 2019, I've moved it up to 53 is the current position on the rankings. Let's see. I've won Donny Benet, since we've probably covered a lot more. Yes, I did discover myself and brought up myself, but I think because that's become one of those artists that we do go back to quite a bit. Or at least, with a high regard. Second Dinner, I put higher up.
2018 song?
Second Dinner was a 2019 song, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah.
The album was 2020, but the song Second Dinner was a 2019 single.
Fair enough.
Trying to think what else. I mean, a lot of it in the end is still kind of like just music that I liked. I like them because we've realistically covered as much 2019 as we have, and a lot of the 2019 that I picked, I would have already discovered back in 2019, which is what I kind of realized when I was doing this redo is that whilst there was 30 songs that have changed from not being in the 100 to being in the 100, a lot of them are from artists that have made a countdown or were in the original countdown. The ones that weren't, Alex Cameron, which I put at 99, Far From Born Again. Medusa's Piece of Your Heart, which that's one of those like huge fucking club songs that came out that I kind of like discovered late that year. I do like it a lot, and I think that's about it. Shoo Shoo Girl with Basket of Fruit, Charlie XCX. Charlie XCX has made some other ones. San Cisco, I think, as well hasn't made another countdown, which I would put in there. Bugs. There's not much in there that didn't make another countdown or something for me as well. I think like the big one that would have made the list if I had known it in 2019 is Homer's Where's Venison.
Ooh. Okay.
But even then, that one I only put as 56.
Fair.
So there's a lot of changes, but there's also a lot of same. I think my 2019 taste wasn't fully correct, but it was still pretty good. That's how I've come to believe myself.
Trix, I think you were echoing a little.
Oh,
no,
okay.
She's just going back to day one recording.
Yeah, I lost my headphones in my apartment somewhere, and I can't find them.
Oof.
So I'm recording off of my like regular phone mic.
Gotcha.
One artist as well that I put into the list that I did listen to in 2019, but I didn't make my 200. But I think over the past couple of years has been a true reevaluation of this song is actually going to good. And I put in Got You by Ammo and the Sniffers.
Okay.
2019, I did enjoy it. But I think now with the reevaluation, it's like, no, this is a really good song.
Yeah.
I'll talk about some more other ones over the rest of the episode, but for now, let's get on to you two. How have you two reevaluated stuff?
My ranking is entirely on vibes.
I expect nothing less.
I think your ranking is entirely on a fucking wall and hard to read.
That is because I am going to be including a video with it.
Now, I'm going to assume the top means like your S tier and the bottom is the worst, just because I can see Petite League's Rattler at the top and LSD at the bottom, and I think just that's enough for me to figure that out.
Yeah.
Which I personally would still not put Rattler above a bunch of the albums on here, but I'll tell you what, over these years, I don't think there's anything from 2019 I still hated more than LSD.
Isn't that amazing? You can still say that.
Yeah. It's my lowest of the ranking.
It was one of those ones that we went back to when we covered it. We were just really annoyed with how like insincere it felt as this kind of experimental album. It just felt like it was something that claimed to be experimental, but was still just a really generic piece of shit, despite being from a couple talented producers and songwriters.
I think we said that it felt like they were just kind of making it post, basically. Like everything was just kind of random and disparate, and they just kind of cobbled it together as best they could.
Now, since then, only one of the three members has not had a huge tank to their reputation.
Who's the one that hasn't?
Labyrinth.
What has Diplo done?
Diplo had some allegations, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Yeah, no one can remember because it's Diplo. Yes, last year, Diplo was accused of distributing revenge porn.
Ooh.
Did not know that.
Me either.
Now I don't know the full details myself personally because I never kept check. But regardless of whether or not, that is still a hit to reputation.
Yes.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think much people were really thinking about Diplo for a bit.
Is anyone really thinking about Diplo? Was anyone really thinking, like, maybe at the time, but...
Well, I mean, when Major Lazer was huge, yeah.
Oh, is that what he's from?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Plus, those did, Major Lazer formed because they produced with Switch Paper Planes by NIA.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And then Switch ended up leaving Major Lazer after that first album, I'm pretty sure, and then someone else was a part of it because and for Lean On, which was also like, people forget Lean On was one of the biggest songs of 2016, and I feel like it just didn't escape that year.
Okay, I'm happy to report that nothing we covered in 2018, the December 2018 debacle.
So there we go. So Labyrinth was the only one who had basically no, at least to I can tell, hit to their reputation. Sears was just a really poorly done and poorly researched movie.
Yeah.
Which, granted, it was poor.
There were also some like relatively creepy things that came out during the release of that movie too.
Oh yeah, with Maddie Ziegler. That's right. Yeah, that's stuff that was Michael Jackson Neverland kind of either something's happened there or they really are that naive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not experienced enough to tell you what the answer is for that, nor do I really want to.
All right.
Fair.
So do you want my EPs or albums list first?
Whatever you choose, Dominic. I wasn't done ripping on LSD yet, though. I don't think I've actually listened to that album since 2019, but it is. Trix, you got an echo. That is annoying.
Hold on. Sorry.
But incredibly, I can still. I guess that's impressive. I guess it's also due to the fact that back then I gave things a lot more listens, but I can still remember a bunch of the fucking songs of that because it was short. But it also just pissed me off that much. I'm still mad.
I still hear Genius in my head every now and then.
Yeah, that's the specific one, which is so fucking bad. And I'm thinking, like, all this other stuff I'm talking about, ruining reputations of these artists. This album should have ruined their reputation.
Absolutely.
You want to know the sad thing though?
Go ahead.
Genius has over 656,000 plays on Spotify.
656,000. I don't think is the right number there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
It is by far the most successful song on the album.
I believe Thunderclouds as well was like on a Google ad or some shit. We discussed that back when it
And that
came
one
out.
has nearly 600 million, but it's only 596 right now.
Funnily enough, all the singles seem to exist, but the album doesn't exist on Spotify. That's such a weird.
No, it does.
It does, but it's just in a weird way. It's not on their page.
Because it's credited to all of them, and then the album is called Labyrinth, Sia, and Diplo present LSD.
Yeah. And never forget, probably one of the worst opening tracks of all time there with Welcome to the Wonderful World of. It's
appropriately the least listened to song.
Yep.
Good.
15 million. Which means it's still played 15 million times through.
And this comes from somebody who I don't want to hate Sia's music. There are definitely some songs that have been put up which can fuck off. Titanium is one of them. But songs like Chandelier, Breathe Me, Clap Your Hands, they are Australian classics. Hell, even Elastic Heart was good. I can throw out fucking Alive. That song pissed me off. But that's how I feel. It's like this is something that came from, at the time, very talented musicians. Even though they were very commercialized still, they could still blend commercialization and quality. Even if Diplo was still just another fucking DJ. But the production on Paper Planes is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has what I want to call father of all motherfucker syndrome.
Yeah.
That it's 10 tracks.
Don't need.
One of them's. I do want to explain a little bit.
Yeah. I was going to say you don't need to explain, but because that says enough. But yeah, go ahead.
One of them is a remix, so we already lost on ideas when one's already a remix. But the whole thing is just barely over 30 minutes.
Yep.
And for all of that, you get this thing that people have listened to that I still would say it really just feels like they just came together and farted out ideas and then tried to wrap it together. So they could do better.
Yeah. Now they probably won't, but who cares? Now, Dominic, I think we've had enough shitting on LSD. Yes. What do you want to do for your rankings first? What do you want to...
Let's talk through my top 10 EPs of the year, because I didn't even have an EPs list that year. I wasn't even thinking about the album, and now we've listened to enough where I at least have a top 10.
Yeah.
Let's see. 10, we'll start out Space Cadet Biba Doobie. Number 9 is O's Honeymoon. Number 8, Vinegar Kids. Their Bummer demos. As a Vinegar Kids fan, you gotta throw them a little bit of a bone, even if it's just demos that they released later. 7's Our Mouths to Smile, Home is Where. 6, because it is just so important, I think, in the history of Sufjan Stevens, it is to Love Yourself with My Whole Heart. Single, EP, whatever you want to call that thing. 5 is Hot Flash Heatwaves, Mood Ring. 4 is Chinese Footballs Continue. 3, Dog Park Dissidents, High Risk Homosexual Behavior. 2, Harley Cosgrove, Whoa, Just Take It Easy, Man. And number 1, Could Be Nothing Else, Gen 3 of Origami Angel.
I'm just looking to see what what I had in my 2019 EP, and my number one was Baby Doobie. That's why I picked it for this week. Gen 3 was actually my number 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I did quite enjoy that EP quite a lot. And Chinese Football was my number 6. Also that I had in there, Kero Kero Benito's Civilization 1 was number 10. Meg Max Hope was number 9. Benny's Fire on Mars was number 8. Middle Kids, New Songs for Old Problem was number 7, which is still a good EP. However, I did drop the song out of my top 100. It was one of those ones that kind of just barely didn't make the top 100. Not because I thought the song was bad. It was just that I think I placed it well back in 2019, and unfortunately, I found a bunch of songs that have since overtaken. It sucks when that happens, but sorry. Number 5, because we'll skip Chinese Football, was Small Rats Driving Music. Number 4 was Oliver Tree's Do You Feel Me, and number 3 was Love, Fame, Tragedies, I Don't Want to Play the Victim. Another one, which I believe I cut out the song from my top 100.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I've definitely changed some takes there.
Definitely.
And people can be mad because I still kept the Dean Lewis song in my top 100. I don't think that ever got popular in America, that song.
Who's Dean
but
Lewis?
yeah, there's your answer.
Yeah.
It's white guy with an acoustic guitar makes pop music.
Oh, so there's like a million of them.
So
Yeah.
the Australian Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. Actually, that would probably be. That's just correct.
It's the Australian regional Springsteen.
Now you had it at the first one.
Yeah.
7 minutes was like this absolute complete focus grouped pop music track, and it is probably the only one I could say that sounds focus group that I've still gone. But I kind of like it.
That's fair.
I have no defense for that song as a song whatsoever, other than, I don't know, it's kind of catchy and I kind of don't mind. Sometimes that happens. It's a rarity.
Sometimes
I'm not proud of it.
Sometimes
It's
the
probably
man with the guitar just happens to be good.
Well, when we get into John Butler Trio, eventually, then we'll go on the Australian white guy with a guitar. But if I would say there is one song that I put into a countdown, which I legitimately believe is a guilty pleasure, which is a song that I am ashamed that I like, it is 7 minutes.
Don't be ashamed to like it. Embrace your cringe.
I've had a bunch of pop songs and stuff in my top 200s, which I like despite belief that I probably wouldn't, that I have no guiltiness towards. I remember putting Alice by Lady Gaga in my top 200. I have no guilt towards that.
Yeah, Alice was a fun song.
Yeah. That's why I put it in. That's why I put it in there. But that's like one of those artists that you would assume I would consider a guilty pleasure. No shame.
No.
That's
Fair.
the only song I can think of.
I have not seen Trix's the post-its, so let's take a look.
It's a bit of a terrible one to go through, to be honest. But
Wow.
So again, I will explain that my ranking was entirely vibes based, and you can see my entire thought process on patreon.com/dissonant waves.
I mean, you do have Torp down at the bottom, which I think is funny.
Yeah.
You have it surrounded by like Dog Park Dissidents. You have it just above Low Roar. Raccoon Loves Trashy places above that.
yeah, I'm surprised you'd have Trip down that low.
Yeah.
Remember, you were the one who picked it.
I fell out of it. I'm just not into it anymore.
I'm proud of you.
Congratulations. Let's all clap.
I'm no longer 19 or 20, however old I was.
I never liked that Trip album.
I listened to like one song from it because I had to choose one song from the album to put on my playlist. Because I remember that being like a really weak, like a week for us.
Yeah, but I also remember
material.
you two liking Trap a lot more than I.
I liked it because it
Yeah.
sounded like Sonic music.
I still just don't care for that one. I mean, I was just never into that. Outside of I think turning 14 and no longer liking Smosh. I think all that YouTuber music stuff that came out, that was just comedy music, just fucking.
Well, Twerk wasn't really comedy music.
It's
But
associated
it's
with Ninja
still
Sex Party.
They
yeah.
were associated, but like
I will say though, Ninja Sex Party was worse than Trap.
it was.
Yes. And
It
for
did not
reference,
hold.
that episode was also when we did Better in Black and Japanese Wallpaper.
Yes.
Yep.
And I was not a fan of Japanese Wallpaper at the time. Still haven't really gone back, but I do appreciate more an artist where you can just kind of put it on the background and just cruise.
I've fallen a bit out with the Japanese Wallpaper one because I had Tongue Tied also in my 100, but that's fallen out. Imaginary Friends is still there. It is still a cute album. I still think Japanese Wallpaper has a fantastic fucking EP, but the album itself is I just haven't had much reason to go back to it, especially in his discography.
Hi,
I'm
Manny.
sorry for upsetting you, Manny. Or listen to more Japanese Wallpaper, Manny. I'm sorry.
Manny loves Japanese wallpaper.
Imaginary Friends is just basically what's the song, Fireflies again, or Faster Paced Fireflies, but
I am checking
It's it.
something important now that we're on this subject.
that's still a cute album from memory. I haven't listened to it in full for a while, so
Yeah.
that's all I can really say. I don't really. I think 2019 was a stacked enough year that it's pretty happy to say like, oh yeah, there was quite a lot of albums better than it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
2019 was definitely like a formative year because it was, at the time, it was just kind of another year in some ways. But like a lot of things were coming up, a lot of things were kind of changing. It also was like an interesting signpost before everything changed with COVID.
Well,
Yeah.
this is what I had as my top 20 for 2019. Not a new one. This is back in 2019. I had Tycho's Weather as number 20. American Football's LP3. Balls, Everything Not Safe Will Be Lost. That would definitely be thrown out. Psychedelic Porn Competence and now for the whatchamacallit. Clipping There Existed an Addiction to Blood, which from memory was a really interesting kind of like horror rap album that I had not gone back to. Otoboki Beavers, Itakoma Hits, Japanese Wallpaper's Glow, I reckon that will fall out as well. Anamanaguchi's USA, Black Midi's Slogenheim, that's like a top 5 2019 album. And I had it not even in my top 10. Alex G's House of Sugar, Origami Angels Somewhere City, which I'm pretty sure is going to be Dominic's number 1 album. Purple Mountains, self-titled, which somehow we haven't covered yet.
What was that last one as well, my nose?
What was that last one? Purple Mountain.
I've never heard of that.
That was David Berman from Silver Jews, and that's one where I go back. I was almost tempted to put Darkness and Cold to add on to the 100 as well. It is a really interesting album, and it kind of unfairly got seen as a suicide note due to the fact that David Berman killed himself that year, which was a very tragic event to happen. But I more personally see that album as kind of like it's his coming to terms with his depression. It's actually almost a pretty cathartic album, which is why it's so harrowing that that he died afterwards. Because I don't know, just everybody who says like, oh, this is the most a tragic suicide note of an album, but I just never got that vibe from it, despite obviously the titles as All My Happiness Is Gone and Darkness Is Cold, and Maybe I'm the Only One for But when you listen to the album and the lyrics, it feels like it is just a venting type of album more than it is a that type of, you know. Anyway, afterwards is titled The Creator's Igor, Big Thief's UFRF, Flume's Hydus' Flume mixtape, Tourists Every Day, Lightning Bolt Sonic Citadel, which we have covered, Pups and Morbid Stuff, which we have covered, Local Natives Violet Street was my number 2, and we still haven't covered that. I still really do enjoy that album, but I think it falls down a bit. And number 1 was King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards Infest a Rat's Nest. I still think this is a top 5 album of 2019.
Amazing.
But does it win 2019? That is a tough question.
That it is.
What would you even consider putting above it?
What would I consider? Well, Black Midi is a top 5 one. That's to be confirmed. Somewhere City is the top 5 2019 album as well.
Okay.
Glass Beach would be a number 1 in there to be in the considerations. Yes, it's a good album.
It is.
In fact, what else? I mean, 100 Gex, 1,000 Gex, I guess, as well. Those are like
Definitely.
5 potential top 5 albums of 2019.
So,
And I still just praise Purple Mountains there quite a lot as an album. And
Yeah.
that's not even like potentially top 5 of that year. Like 2019 was a pretty stacked year.
so I did just do the research a little bit. I still cannot buy Better in Black.
Wow.
That was rough.
Like, there is like a link if I go to the web version of iTunes, but I wonder if that's just like a general thing until I log in and it shows that I'm an American account.
So to put in some albums as well, that I didn't mention in the top 20 that could potentially have its place. Dear Seattle's album, Don't Let Go, I probably could consider in top 20, or top 25 per se. Ammo in the Sniffers, self-titled. Julia Jackman's Crushing. I'm just like scrolling through a bunch of this shit. It was a stacked year. Yeah, Thelma Plum's Better in Black as well. I think that's an album which, whilst I still have never enjoyed Better in Black as much as like everybody else has, I think this the album had better tracks.
Actually, what's
It is
really
still
funny, really quick. I'm sorry.
Good album. Yep. No, you go.
I can buy the like a version of Betty Ray's Better in Black cover.
That
Hell
is
yeah.
funny.
Have you considered a VPN?
It's more for the bit now that I just like I look every so often. Can I buy this record normally?
Wise Blood, Titanic Rising is another album as well that came out that year. And this is just looking at songs that are in my redo and all that. Like, I love Morbid Stuff by Pop as well. I loved it when it came out, and I still do love that album. And it's also not a top 5 album of that year. It was a stacked year.
Yeah.
There's probably some other shit that people are going like, "Oh, what about this album?" And it's like, well, I just can't remember. It was packed.
Does it feel like 2019 was a bit more mainstream?
We definitely did have some. I mean, some of these albums also did break out that year, especially when if we're talking on the biggest oxymoron of mainstream indie. So like the big indie breakout hits. I don't think I would call Origami Angel that, because I don't think they're talked about in the same vein as say 100 Gex or Black Midi is. 100 Gex obviously being probably the biggest out of all of them, but 2019 was their breakout year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to say mainstream, I guess, on that would be incorrect because they simply just weren't back in 2019. However, there are some artists that put out some albums this year, so you can definitely say yes. I mean, Billie Eilish, it was probably the biggest album of 2019 commercially. She had only just kind of recently broken out, like 2017 is when I would say her proper breakout was. Charlie XCX put out an album that year, but I guess also in that year she didn't have quite the level of worship as she does now, thanks to Brat. Granted, she still had a pretty dedicated fan base in 2019. Number one, I'm looking at The National put out an album that year.
Ag Raiders had an album that year.
Yeah, but Bag Raiders don't really. I wouldn't call them the same level of mainstream just because Shooting Stars broke out, you know?
I guess.
Yeah.
Like you look at who collaborated on that album, and the biggest artist there is Panama.
I look at my original 2019 list. So crazy to this where my head was at the time. Partially because I was trying to stick to mostly what we covered with a few surprises, but disappointing to say the least.
Oh, I did remember another one for the, I guess we call mainstream indie, Vampire Weekend. I had an album in 2019.
Yes.
So in the terms of mainstream indie, and indie, we kind of had them all. It was, I'd say, a pretty varied year. I think that is somewhat reflected in my original countdown as well, and somewhat in my new one. I feel like everybody had those songs that were like big hits and stuff that they loved, and everybody who discovered some smaller stuff that year also had a lot of smaller stuff that they loved that year. It's a good year for music.
I think gone further down the rabbit hole of smaller stuff since then.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our listening time has been dominated more by smaller acts and things associated with it.
Funnily enough, the Glass Beach song that I did have in my original 2019 Song of the Year, I've taken out, not because I don't like it as much, but because I fucked up and it wasn't actually eligible.
What was it, 2018?
Yeah, Neon Glow. Yeah, so that's it's in the countdown. It's officially in the countdown. That's just how it works. But I did fuck up on that one.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Instead, important kids.
Yeah. Instead, Cold Weather and Glass Beach have replaced it.
Fair enough.
So, I want to talk about what I actually had on my original second here, because I ranked pretty much everything we did. So it's like a top 14, right? And at the bottom, of course, is LSD.
Yep.
Then 13 was Tom York's Anima. Then Low Roar's Ross. Japanese Wallpaper Glow. Torp Return to Wherever. Mag Raiders Horizons. Better in Black. BTS Map of the Soul Persona. Then Rattler. 5 was Health's Volume 4, which we still have not covered. 4 was Devin Townsend's Empath. Then Infest the Rat's Nest. Then Here Comes the Cowboy. Then the GTA Online OST that we talked about a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, we've had the fight about you with that one.
Yeah.
It's a weird list to come back to because I feel like it doesn't really represent who I am now. It was very much the point of me having the things that I listened to, and then the point of the show, which was for me to open up my ears to new things, and so kind of see where I was at the time, and then me embracing some new stuff. And I also feel like some of the picks that we hadn't covered at the time were just me either trying to impress or like just to say, "Hey, I listen to stuff outside the show. I'm not a loser." And we all know now that that's not true, and I don't, and I am.
We're all losers. We're recording a
We're
podcast.
losers, Dominic. We're losers forever.
Dude, I work in a kitchen, and that is like peak loser behavior.
You're getting shredded as well.
Yeah.
I was just referencing Spanish love songs, so who forever didn't get that listening to us. Probably should, because it's only us listening to us.
Yeah. It's also 4 a.m.
Who's counting? Trix's. Now to.
I mean, going back onto that whole, like, who you were back in 2019 and all that. I mean, that's truly the fun of me doing these top 100s after all this time, is that whilst, yes, it's had the benefit for me over the past couple of years of, one, getting to show off the one thing that I care about with this music. It has also been a pretty cool time capsule to how my listening has changed over the past. At this point, I started in 2017, so about 9 years. And at a certain point, there's some pretty drastic changes. One of the big things that I've done is compared it to the hottest 200 to the 200 to the 1. Just to see, not where I put it in the positions and rank by that, but just how many songs have made it compared from my 100 to that 200 or blah, blah, blah. And, one of the stats that I've noticed is that I really have been moving away from the direction that Triple J went with what everyone's voting for them, because the I guess the crossover that I have has been falling in a very noticeable pace, and it's not like one song per year or everything like that. I think it went from like nearly half my list in 2017 was in the 200 to like 10 songs or something in my last list were in the 200.
Wow.
Which is a pretty insane change.
I mean, there's no way that Triple J is going to have a song like This Evening's Warm Dinner Salad. But...
Nah, yeah, I know.
Absolutely not.
And if my taste had stayed the same completely, I think since 2017, we probably would have noticed a smaller drift. But it's not just the fact that their taste is changing. It's the fact that mine is as well, and it's gone a completely different fucking direction.
We're kind of unbridled. We're kind of unbound to cover essentially whatever we want.
Hmm.
So, like, if we made it a goal to like cover just a year of the most underground indie shit possible, like Christian Khan level of artists, our list would look entirely different.
Yeah.
I mean, that's realistically since 2019 as well. I feel like we have more focused on the underground than we did back in 2019.
Yeah.
I think Trix might have picked probably the most underground one that we stuck with Petite League, which I'm not going to say it's completely blown up or anything since then, but definitely had a lot less listens back then.
Definitely.
But we were still feeling each other out. We were still trying to like not impress each other maybe, but kind of like show off. And...
I was definitely 100% all the time I would have been showing off.
Well, we were trying to bring like the best of what we had to offer to the table, like
definitely
Twerp and Mac DeMarco and everything. Like,
and keep in mind, we're just talking about the 2019 stuff that we picked.
Yeah.
In some ways, it was easier to talk about stuff for longer back then because the things we were talking about were so mighty and so like big, and we didn't know each other as well, so conversations would just kind of go off in different directions, and who knows where we'd end up.
Definitely.
Like usually with a gay sex joke by the end of it.
Like the Neutral Milk Hotel episode of
that's got me ranting about Jeff Mangum for like a fucking good 10 minutes there.
Yeah. That's like a 2-hour thing. We don't really do that anymore.
We don't.
We pay taxes. We've got kids.
I have a cat, not a kid.
So the interesting thing is just kind of we haven't totally like shrunken our episode length. We have a lot, but we still can go long. But these early episodes, I think we were trying very hard to analyze everything because also what we were presenting was the best of our picks, but also we were trying to go more in depth, I think, than we do now, which has its benefits and its asides, but probably makes for better podcasting the way we do it now.
Yeah.
I'm looking as well for like the first like 2019 episode that we officially did, which was Petite League, Battle Raiders, and LSD, and that was only about a month and a week or something into actually doing this this podcast as
Yeah,
well.
like episode 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I
and we're
drank
like, hey,
the
we should
bottle
probably have like a dedicated episode a month or something to a new release, because we're like, oh, what if we never do it? And now we just kind of do new releases all the time.
If only we still had the archives.
200 episodes lost in the waste. Oh well.
The nice thing is that we've only lost a couple episodes in the beginning. Also, like we've done our best to not make a habit of that.
Yeah, we lost the Crystal Castles episode.
Yes, and then there was a Minisode that was lost that I was not on.
Yes.
So there's like content.
And I can't remember what did we do on that one, Trix?
I don't even remember.
Nah, that would have been around the same time or something.
Yes.
I think we were literally just doing like a wrap up or something.
Maybe.
I don't even think it was anything important.
So there's Dissonant Waves content out there that I don't even know what's on it.
Yeah.
Well, when
the
you
problem,
do 6 years, so
I think the problem was like the first ones that we lost is that we had it on Crag, but because we like don't pay for anything, we kind of just lost it.
yeah,
It's on us. That's just
I got really depressed.
I mean, you don't have to excuse yourself or anything. It's in the past.
No,
But well, I'm curious. Now that we have a new server, can we get Craig back?
Probably.
Well, I think the important thing for us all to remember is that my take on Crystal Castles was that the album wasn't really that good anyway.
Yeah.
I said that the best songs off that album were the ones that were basically just remixes of existing songs. And it's also kind of why I believed Alice Glass's allegations, because yeah, I can definitely believe that he purposely fucked up a bunch of her songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing about any of that situation has like changed, I think, for any of us.
No.
Nah.
But looking at like kind of like the timestamps of things, everything was like kind of like an hour and a half, or like our first minisode was less than half an hour, which is kind of a fun little thing.
Yeah. Now minisodes go real long. They're longer than a lot of episodes.
Yeah. Sticky Plush Romance, episode 9, was almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
And whilst I'll still defend Land of Pleasure as an album, I never. I don't think you ever will. Whilst I'll defend it as an album because I do genuinely enjoy the tracks of that, it becomes harder every fucking year to defend them as people because they just will not get sober. And they will have fights with everybody that they can.
Yeah.
When we did
you've literally made an album about alcoholism, and then you decided that the best option was to continue on with it.
When we did Sonic Adventure 2, that took almost 2 hours as well.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad one because we're just playing Sonic Adventure 2 the whole time. We're idiots.
Oh god, when we talked about our own albums, that was over 2 hours.
Oh, that was a classic.
Yeah.
That challenge is due for a sequel.
It is.
Yeah, but we all have kids now. It'll be harder.
That was just I need to make the proper sequel to end of the podcast, start of something new.
The end of the server, start of rebirth. Blah blah blah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't made a proper sample based project since that.
Maybe I'll just record some jazz standards.
Ooh.
I mean, I've obviously made music since then, which has just been shitposting, and Dominic's gone like, well, fuck you, you think I won't pick it?
I've not picked anything of yours in a long time either.
That's probably because I haven't really released anything yet, but
But you have released
I
stuff
keep
that I've not
saying,
covered. So
yeah, I keep saying I'll release some of the stuff that I have, and I'm just don't.
I'm gonna break into your house, steal your hard drive, and release all of your music.
oh shit. Someone's leaking the Prince tapes.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But I did make a top 15 albums from 2019 that in the end was still a bit more difficult than I expected because I did not enjoy everything that we listened to from 2019. So why would I expect for everything to be easily slottable when at a certain point it's kind of like I don't really give a shit? But
Mhm.
I think this 15 is about where the bottom would be scraped as far as like what do I even care about ranking? What is even worth it for me to like talk about?
Yeah.
So I'll start with this. Number 15 is Better Than Black. I still think that album's fun. I don't really remember it as
I
much
think
as I
that's.
do.
I think it's fair to have it in your top 15.
Number
Yeah.
14, though, you're going to be upset, is Infest the Rat's Nest.
It happens.
And then number 13, an album that we'll talk about next week that I was ready to be like, this album is dog shit, but I don't necessarily think that. Devin Townsend's Empath.
Okay.
Then Schlagenheim.
Surprised that's low.
Sonic Citadel. And then I believe it's number 10. 4, 5,
Yep.
7, 8. Anamanaguchi's USA.
Wow. I'm actually kind of shocked at that one because I think you two's opinions of Anamanaguchi was that high on review.
I think it's towards the middle on my board. On my wall, I should say.
Yeah, I'm just talking about when we did the episode.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like some of this was kind of like, as you'll see with this next one, albums I didn't always totally enjoy, but some of the songs I really, really did enjoy. So like that also
That's
had
fair.
a say.
That's fair, yeah.
Like number 9 is the
Yeah.
First Class Speech album, which I famously do not really like, except for like 2 songs.
Mm-hmm.
But those 2 songs are really, really, really fucking good. Number 8, I know we just kind of shat on it, but it is still a vibe. I still love Health. This is the Grand Theft Auto Online soundtrack. But then here is where we kind of go into like, what do I actually really like?
Yep, fair.
7, Face Stabber, OCs.
Ooh.
6, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go?
Oh.
5, 1000 Gex.
Yeah.
4, Ammo and the Sniffers.
Yeah, that's fair.
3, Rattler.
Hell yeah.
Lucas Thunderlip.
Which makes 2, Here Comes the Cowboy.
Choo choo.
No one should be shocked by what Dominic has put as number 1. When
Somewhere City, of
we
course.
when we recorded Somewhere City's episode, Dominic said, I believe exactly his words, that you had come to accept that both Somewhere City and Garmy Gang were masterpieces.
And I think I have gone further now, and I think Somewhere City is the better album.
Wow.
Which is crazy to think about now.
In
Yeah.
personal opinion, yeah, I would agree. Somewhere City as an album is better.
Like, Gami Gang still really fucks, and it's like sequencing and how proper and perfect they got it, like song to song. But Somewhere City as a whole is just an amazing experience.
Like I said, it is definitely in consideration of top 5 for me in 2019.
And I think
Yeah.
this is the only year that a band like Origami Angel can top for me in both EPs and albums. It's rare that the band can do it at all, but like aside from Gami Gang being number 1 in 2021, I don't think they would ever.
I remember just the
Makes us highly.
cred that I get for having discovered by myself Origami Angel back when they had I think it was like a couple months after Gen 3 had been released. And knowing how hipster I am going into Somewhere City, because I feel like it's an album that can only blow up again.
I'll
Yeah.
be curious to see if it actually blows up again. It's like one of those unsung, like, people really liked it at the time, but it's not being talked about in like the Tumblr sphere, as far as I know.
I can tell you safely, they sold out their Sydney show at the Lansdowne, which surprised me. And people were singing along to almost every song that was being played, but I don't think there was a single Somewhere City song that was being played that people were going crazy for.
Oh yeah, like when we went to the Salt Shed, like that's a huge venue. They fucking had people there, and like granted, Knuckle Puck was the main attraction, but still.
And that's the thing. It's like the people who were still there still really, really like this album.
Yeah. I can give you guys the definitive top 5
Okay.
from my... I'm staring at the wall right now.
Yeah, I can see 4 of them, and I think that 5th one has a W at the end of it.
Yes, it does. Number 5 is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard Infest the Rat's Nest.
Yep.
Number 4, Shaky Graves, Above Below. Number 3, Mike Kroll, Power Chords. Number 2, 100 Gex, 1000 Gex. And number 1, Rattler.
I mean, the 1 and 2 for you, Trix, so no offense intended here, is basically just which bias were you going to have reign supreme today? Was it going to be which lo-fi boy do I like the most, or do I feel the transgender in me? Sorry, caffeine addicted transgender.
Yeah. I had
My
4
bad.
Arizona RX Energies today.
For those who don't understand that reference, Trix would post for like a solid week here of caffeine addicted transgender test, and it was just a blurred out picture of 1000 gex.
Yeah. I'll have to see if I can find it again.
Well, it was a good meme. Oh, I don't really think I have any interest of properly re-ranking my 5 for albums or EPs. Much more than what I said is like, what is a potential top 5 in their order?
Sure.
I think I placed the at the top end of the EPs list probably more correctly than any of the other lists that I've done in 2019. But in the end, I think I'm pretty proud of the lists that I had back then. There was still there was some songs that I went back into and just like, hell, what am I going to think of this song now? And you know, I'll go through the couple of songs which I would say, what the fuck was I thinking? Alligator by Of Monsters and Men does not hold up. It was an alright song back in 2019. Doesn't hold up. I really hated to say this one, but this one I just kind of got annoyed by listening to, and it was in my top 100, and it's Die by Stella Donnelly, which I've just gone into. It's like, well, there's some better tracks off that album. Die is kind of annoying. I'm sorry. It's just, I really liked it back in 2019, but I don't know, I had a completely different tune of thought there. Sympathy by Vampire Weekend was interesting back when it came out, but now I think it's probably one of the more pretentious songs off that album. Harmony did hold up though. That one I ended up enjoying more than when I originally ranked. And Heavy Hearted by Jungle Giants. It was a cool change of pace, and it's a weird Seinfeld effect that they've done to themselves. But back when that was the only song that they had that kind of sounded like that, it was good. But when they made a whole fucking album like that, that was kind of annoying to listen to. Yeah, that song's just fallen out of my favor completely.
Fair enough.
There were a bunch of other songs as well that placed higher that didn't make my 100, but I didn't dislike them as much as those songs.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's
Like, I expected to find the Hilltop Hood song Exercise from that year, going back to it as kind of cringe, but it's like, no, it's good. It's good. It's just there's better songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, I did add in some other tracks or just some other changes, some artists that were in there as well. Spacey Jane, I originally had Good For You. I put in Good Grief into my top 10 because that was a pretty... what's the word? It releases chemicals in the brain that make me happy. Western by Black Midi is now the highest Black Midi song on there, originally not appearing at all. 100 Gex, I've put in a couple songs to them. Hand Crushed by a Mallet being at 91, and then Money Machine and Stupid Horse being in the top 20. Boys in the Betterland by Fontaine's DC is now the questionable song that I put in there because it was officially released as a single in 2019. However, I think it was released as like a B-side earlier or something. I don't care enough.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
And I have still kept in Denzel Curry's Bulls on Parade like a version.
A good one.
It is.
The full list I have as a playlist. Anyone can go through it and just listen. It is not an official playlist. It is more just a whole, hey, I reckon these are the songs that I'll add to the order. But I change my opinion every fucking day. Never trust me for consistency. Never. If you have, welcome to your first.
I think going through a lot of this stuff, there is one name that keeps coming up that, yeah, we're talking about 2019, but if we're talking about how everything has gone since then and everything has like kind of flown through or like kind of flowed through certain things, one name that does keep coming up is Will Yip.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
Credited on everything from Diaspora Problems to Weekend Run Club to Plastic Death to Home Is Where to Feeling Not Found.
Will Yip is a very prolific producer.
Yeah. So if there's anyone that's kind of like guiding the hand as we go along this journey, probably him.
Yeah.
Like 2019, what was he doing? He did some Turnstile later as well.
Yeah, La Dispute. Dear Seattle, this is on there as well. I like this a lot. Angel Dust, Ceremony, Mannequin Pussy, Messengers, Tiger's Jaw, Turnover. Yeah.
Really hitting everything. Violent Soho.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is just all the stuff that's like on the Wikipedia page.
I'm looking at the
Fuck, I'm getting the hiccups. I got the yips. I should look. And Glass Beach, Plastic Death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of stuff is just fascinating.
It is.
If there's anyone to interview, probably be him.
I wish. I mean, that's really all I've got to say about 2019, to be honest.
Strange year. Feels like a different time. I feel like it is something that is easier now to kind of reassess because of the stark differences between now and then.
Oh, shit. I just realized the worst thing from 2019. Tones and I.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we missing this year that was kind of like a big deal that broke out in 2019 that we haven't talked about? And it's that Kids Are Coming EP. Yeah. You know what? I think I've said this before, but it can be said here. I will die on the hill that if she had only released Johnny Runaway or Johnny whatever that song is, Johnny Runaway, as a single, and then just disappeared after that, she would have been one of the biggest what ifs in music, because that song was interesting. It wasn't fantastic, but it was interesting.
What
And
if
her different vocals worked on that with the way that the production was going, despite the fact that it was definitely one of those songs that wasn't going to grow on you. It was only going to get a bit worse as it goes.
what if like that happened and then like 2030 Dance Monkey was unearthed as like this other song that she had worked on?
That is a whole can of worms I don't even want to open.
Yeah.
It'd be
There
like
was
the,
so
it'd be like
much
the
to think
Jeff
about.
Mangum effect of like, oh my god, this whole thing
Mm.
was happening and it got canned.
And I won't defend Dance Monkey, but it was not the worst song that she put out there. It wasn't Never Seen the Rain Out. Those are all three songs which, in the end, I think my main hatred of them was that they were overplayed. And I don't even hate Johnny Runaway.
Yeah.
I'm probably more on the positive side of that song. Shocker. Never Seen the Rain, I've really found to just be overplayed and just do nothing. And Dance Monkey, everybody's made a fucking take about that.
Yeah.
But The Kids Are Coming was the name of the EP, and there was a title track, which was called The Kids Are Coming. And this is during a huge a period where I think climate change debate was was probably at its peak. I'd like to say that it's gone down because people have responded appropriately, but I think it's gone down because there's 1,000 fucking other issues in the world, and it's really hard to focus on one. So when a lot of these, I guess, protests are happening, and specifically for young kids, this song was definitely made to try and capitalize on that. Because I've always said one of the biggest things I hate about political songs is when they're not actually about anything.
Yes, like the news is
And
out there.
yeah. Now, whilst I never seen the Rain or Dance Monkey, I think you could kind of argue at least they're about something. Now, not politically or anything like that, but at least there's a focus on the song. Whilst Kids Are Coming was always to me this whole, oh boy, this is a song that's purely made to get cred. That is all it is made for. It is not made out of any sincere belief of anything that's being said, nor that it had to be, because nothing was being fucking said. And you mix that with the criticisms that people had of Tones and I's music in the first place, my god. That song fucking pissed me off. And I thought, okay, well, surely it can't get worse than that. But nope, in 2020, Tones and I put out a song called You're So Fucking Cool. And at that point, I was like, fuck it, I'm joining the hate train. I was willing to defend and be the contrarian that goes, we will not despite our hate towards this person. But for that month that song got released, you better believe I was out there putting out as many comments that I could. I would be putting death threats to every producer I could. This is a joke for legal purpose. So for everybody who thinks that Dance Monkey was the worst thing that happened to music, it got worse.
Isn't it also around the time that she did the Forever Young cover?
You know, I've come to accept that one was, whilst I do hate it myself, that doesn't go in the bottom of the barrel for even her music. It's one of those. It's so confusing and as a song because everything's so over the place and overdone that it's actually kind of interesting now. This is like what I'd personally say is the go-to for what not to do for like a version, or what is the definition of overproduced?
Yeah.
And overridden, and that just had fucking way too much shit happen to it. That I think I actually can't get pissed off by that like a version because there's so much that happens in it, and not in a good chaotic way, just in just the whole everything after that I actually can't remember any of it. And then I'm in bliss.
Yeah.
I have considered picking the Kids Are Coming EP a number of times, especially this year. But at least right now, I just can't bring myself to subject myself, not to mention all of us, to rehashing this debate about Tones and I.
I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said though, because basically everything that was said on Welcome to the Madhouse is like, well, there you go. That's where the criticisms kind of ended. It's almost a career killer, that album.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's just something about that title track that I still have caught in my head. I don't know why.
It's a weird one to think about though, but did you know that Tones and I has released quite a bit of music since Welcome to the Madhouse?
I've heard. There's an album.
But do you know any of them? Do you know any of them?
No.
No. This is no longer now a personal take on down of her music or anything, but just pointing out statistics. Everything that she has released has flopped.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, a flop is still basically in comparison to an artist's peak. But there's somebody that has about 11 million monthly listeners on Spotify. And okay, they've got a single that was released from the last album that's got 34 million. Nowhere close to the to Dance Monkey's 3.3 billion, which is still a what the fuck number. And regardless of what you think about the person, that's like such an accomplishment to go from. The story is to go from busking 1 year to now 3.3 billion from basically that one breakout song.
Yeah.
No, I don't know enough about how everything works. So I don't think industry plants is a fair enough term to say, because I don't think an industry plant could be good enough to get 3.3 billion streams.
I don't think an industry plant would be treated like this.
But
her second album was over an hour long.
Yeah, and all the songs that aren't singles have no listens comparatively. Like you go like, okay, well, some of these songs have a lot more listens than some of the artists that we listen to. But when you put it to the comparison of how big she is compared to how many people are actually going and listening to the album in full, it's a very poor number.
Yeah.
And it's not because Beautifully Ordinary, the second album here, is the flop album. It's because Welcome to the Madhouse was that critically panned. That was the whole, okay, well, people now get their justice for their critique. She couldn't hold the success for a full album's worth of music. So nobody's interested in listening to a full album's worth of music. They're going into the singles, probably then deciding after listening to those singles they have no intention of listening to the rest, and then just don't. And are just going back to the stuff off that EP. It's crazy because people were pretty much like, people who did not like Tones and I were very much scared that this would be an artist that would be and taking over the airwaves of new songs basically year after year after year, and this would just be something we'd have to deal with. But despite that success, it's not like Charlie XCX having all those fan bases and all those stands or anything. That just doesn't exist in this case.
Yeah.
And it's one of those studies which I can only tell you the numbers. I can't tell you anything else. But there is got to be somebody out there who can probably put up a much more thorough analysis of all this information and make a pretty interesting case study here.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's also interesting that we're doing Billie Eilish for the next episode, and that like I hear some of the things that Tones and I would use on her first album, on this Billie Eilish album. Like I can see where
And-
certain things were kind of copped.
It's one of those other things as well. Remember in 2019 Hottest 100, people were scared Dance Monkey was going to win. That people would also vote for Bad Guy in order to beat that song. They're like, okay, I don't think Bad Guy is a top 10 song, but I really don't want Dance Monkey to win, so I'm going to add Bad Guy into my top 10. That was the thing that happened. I know. I saw a bunch of my friends do that.
Is that what won? What
And
won that year?
Bad Guy did win, but Dance Monkey came fourth.
Wow.
Which means that two other songs that weren't even voted in for that beat it anyway. Which was Morat's Charlie, which still shocks me it got that high. Which, not in a bad way or anything like that. I like that song. I just didn't expect that it would get that much love to get a top 3. And Flume's Rushing Back, which doesn't shock me as much as Flume. But neither of those songs had the campaign like that.
Was it this that people were so against Dance Monkey that maybe some other songs just got a boost because of it?
Well, a Bad Guy was the only one that was Bad Guy and Dental Curry's like a version, which ended up coming 5th. Were seen as the two songs that were going to be in contention with Dance Monkey.
They seem like the two songs that were like picked by music fans to kind of like mainstream it out. Because those are the two most mainstream cuts that we're talking about.
Well, I mean, the Hottest 100's like top end is going to be a bit more mainstream anyway. It's not like Charlie wasn't a success.
Right, but if Dance Monkey hadn't had the campaign, maybe it would have gotten like second. Would Charlie and like all that still be there?
No, I don't think so.
Interesting.
I in the end, it just wasn't as loved as some other songs were, and I mean, time is telling that that's going to be a case. It's going to be one of those ones that falls completely out of love, from Hottest 100 voters. The top 200 Australian songs of all time countdown happened. Dance Monkey was not in there at all.
Oh.
Just straight up. Now, according to the Unearthed or something, I think she got like 50 or like 60s or something in that. So there was definitely still some votes for her. But it's a case of I guess that crossover success that was happening there, it just ended up being only one side. It's it's very rare for that to happen. I mean, Amy Shark is the other comparison I'm going to do, which is definitely a big crossover between Triple J and mainstream. And even she still got into 200. Fuck, talking a lot, getting a bit of a cough in that. Which shows that people still go back to that era in which she was Triple J focused fondly. And that's like the first comparison I can do in my head.
Right.
And I guess it's just over the years and all that, people, the type of people who are to put their opinions in these lists, have separated from the Tones and Ice fans.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely a song that whenever it comes on, I kind of have to like look at everyone like, are you into this? I need to know. Are you like grooving to it? I need to fucking know. Like, if people are like still into Dance Monkey secretly, I am just perplexed.
Yeah. Look, I think my take on it, I haven't actually listened to the song in a while. I don't go out of my way to. It's just not me.
It seems like the kind of song where, because she gives the appearance that she's really singing it and she's really trying, that people that are really into vocals are just gonna kind of flock to naturally.
Yeah.
Like,
my big problem has always been that it's an oversung song.
oh, it is.
Yeah.
But I have friends where like the thing I notice about a lot of their interests is that they just like a lot of songs with vocals. Like that's like the
Yeah.
main thread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them have definitely changed now that I've been in the picture, like introducing the like Midwest emo and stuff. But still,
Look, like I said, it wasn't my least favorite song of 2019. It wasn't even in my top 10 bottom of 2019, and I don't think I would actually have it that low. I think if I judged it purely as a song, other than that, I think the writing and the instrumentation and stuff is, whilst not great or anything like that, it holds it enough to at least make me go, okay, this is just kind of a mediocre.
well, what's worse?
Kids are coming. You know what? I had a top 10 bottom of 2019, and we can try and go through that if I can find it.
Okay.
In fact, I know where I would have put it. So let's hold on for 2 seconds here. Let's see.
Holding.
Might have to. Here we go. These are my top 10 worst songs of 2019. Back when I did it. Oh my god, this has some takes on it. Number 10 was Swans the Hanging Man. That was a case of like me saying I don't get swans, but this song was a massive wankfest. That's generally how I felt about it. I don't know if I would still keep that there. 9 was Slater Kinney's Bad Dance. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. 8 was Issues Tapping Out. That's a band that I haven't thought about in a while, but I remember that one pissing me off. Number 7, it's one of these reasons I don't do these lists anymore because I don't like ripping on very underground artists. Dying Adolescence, Toxic Masculinity. That was one of those just feel sorry for yourself songs. It was just it wasn't. Yeah, I always hate going like against songs in which I do agree with the premise, but sometimes it just sounds really pathetic. You know,
Yeah.
it's like every time Macklemore does a White Guilt song, it doesn't go hard. It's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
6 was Kate Nash's Trash. And the description I put in was C's song title. 5 was the band 1-4 and the song Lads in the Hood. I've put that song as, man, this song was just annoying to listen to. I can't even remember how that song sounds, to be quite honest. 4 was Oliver Tree's Fuck. Hearing that song live is a lot better, but as a produced song, yes, that song does suck. And number 3 was Kanye West's Closed on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah. Which the description I put in was Chick-fil-A is not an impressive topic to talk about, Mr. West. And I think we can probably say safely over the past couple of years, maybe we would prefer to him to talk about Chick-fil-A than everything fucking else.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Jesus was King was the end, that would have been a lot better
Yeah.
than where we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow God was a good song. Was. Number 2, and this is what I've written, is Tones and I, The Kids Are Coming. Nothing new, just capitalizing on youth politics and hope they'll listen to her. Pretty shit song. That is what I've written. And I think it should come to no surprise. What did I consider worse than Kids Are Coming? It was LSD's Genius.
Classic.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I wrote, Labyrinth, Sia, and Diplo had to sit in a naughty corner for all of 2020 due to this song. 2 of them have not gotten out of that naughty corner.
Yeah. Let's
Genius
see the kingdom of
was-
heaven.
It's very funny to me. Sorry, Trix.
I just said they will not of heaven.
Look, if you told me to ask which song do I hate more, do I hate Genius, or in this case Dance Monkey, which is very obvious, I'd say Genius more, or All the Kids Are Coming more, which one do I hate more? It's Genius. I fucking hate Genius.
You know what? I don't like Genius, but I think I have to disagree. If we were in a battle of the radio was playing in like a fucking ice cream shop or something, which song would I be more amenable to playing? Genius.
And then Dance Monkey.
Yes.
I'll be on Team Dance Monkey for this one. I will happily take that over Genius.
Because Genius can slide into like a modern pop nothingness spin that it's like I can just kind of disregard it. Dance Monkey
I
begs for attention.
Yeah, but I also say that the worst thing about Dance Monkey was not the song itself, but just how overplayed it was. Whilst I do not like the song, it's not bad enough for me to say that there's a few despise of the song. Now, I understand why people despise it, but I still believe that the majority reason is they've heard it so many fucking times that they're sick of it. And for a lot of people that were sick of it, they were never fond of it to begin with. Now, if there's something that you're fond of and then you're annoyed at because of how overplayed, it becomes a bit different. I like Glass Animals Heat Waves. I put that in my top 100 of 2020. Fight me. Yes, that song is incredibly overplayed, and it gets a bit annoying to listen to now because it was overplayed. But I still think it is a good song, despite, yes, some of the lyrics being kind of shit in that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There was another one. Oh, Uptown Funk. One of the most overplayed songs of all time. It's a good song.
Still good.
Yeah.
But I definitely got sick of listening to Uptown Funk.
Yeah, I think most people
Good
do.
luck, babe, for me.
And that's the thing. People like Dance Monkey, so they overplayed it. Like, for people to ask, like, how did anybody like it? Well, people liked it. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how
begs for
everybody else
attention
feels.
so much.
And some people like that. I don't agree, but whatever. I think
Yeah.
there's worse music that people listen to that people like and did not get as much shit. I've
agree.
gone. We've done the tones and I hate. Now we can go into the tones and I defending. You know, I feel like when we look at all the stuff that got released around the late tens, that yes, got quite a lot of hate, but did not get quite as much hate as Tones and I got. Like a lot of the hate towards Little Dicky was based on the memes, basically. But I never saw as much vitriol actually spouted towards Little Dicky as was the Tones and I.
Also, I mean, there's some sexism in there, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah, and like Freaky Friday and Earth, they aren't just songs that are bad. Like from memory, Earth's Charity turned out to be a bit of a scam anyway. And Freaky Friday was basically a whole clout chasing with Chris Brown out of all fucking people.
Anything like Earth, though, is just gonna be cringe no matter what, because
Yeah.
like it's the weird.
And don't get me wrong, these songs are hated. Don't get me wrong about that. But for those, the vitriol was towards the song, not the person.
Mhm.
Whilst I believe, I know it's a complete whataboutism and it misses the point, but I don't fucking care. I believe we should have actually put our vitriol towards Little Dicky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in that case, the actual issues with the songs are actual harmful, other than just they sound annoying.
That said,
Like 2019 was a weird year.
Yeah.
it's easy to put Lil Dicky into like a box with like B.O.B. at this point, and like rappers that were trying something that flew too close to the sun and are now just kind of like cringy memories of the 2010s.
Can we be playing the airplanes are like shooting stars in the night? So that really is so short. No, with that picture of fucking Mordecai and whatever the fucking My Little Pony.
My defense of Tones and I is that for nothing else, she was trying to do something different and try to do things her own way.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
If there was one definite defense of Dance Monkey that can't really argue against is what other song sounds like it?
Thankfully, none others.
I wouldn't say none. Like, Welcome to the Madhouse has songs that kind of sound like it.
But who else was doing that?
I mean, there's a reason why not, probably, but again, sometimes you just need that artist to like tell you or show you why not do that.
And it may not have been a niche that proved to be long-term sustainable, but it was a niche.
Jesus, no, but Tones and I is the perfect example of an artist that's gonna blow up in like 2030, though.
fuck.
Probably.
Like the nostalgia wave when we get there.
Absolutely. There'll be people who come up and grew up with that song. And, let's not act like everybody, when they grew up, listen to the best music.
No.
But it's sometimes listening to that, which a lot of people call crap, which is what gives you the confidence to find other stuff. This is my essay on how Crazy Frog got me into 100 gex.
I just think of we
We're
kind of champion stuff like Eiffel 65, like for our kind of generation of people. Like those songs are really silly and kind of dumb, but I'm sure they were kind of annoying at the time for some people as well. Like, and then people are gonna go from Dance Monkey and they're gonna listen to Welcome to the Madhouse, and then Beautifully Ordinary is gonna have its like comeuppance moment in like 2032. Like, wow, this album was actually good.
And look, I think there were absolutely fair criticisms of the music that was released. I definitely think some of it is some shocking music. But in the end, 2019 was still a stacked year somehow.
Yeah.
It was a crazy year, actually. To think that we had probably some of the best music released that year, and also somehow some of the worst.
It was easier to find worse music back then, somehow.
Yeah.
That was just kind of a surprise.
Some of it did blow up during COVID, though. Remember that?
Yes, but it feels like
100 gex broke out before COVID, but I definitely feel like they got bigger during COVID.
But I feel like it was easier in 2019 to look at an album and be like, "Oh, that's probably gonna be bad, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was no world in which you look at LSD and be like, "This is gonna be a fucking banger." At best, it's gonna be a curiosity. At worst, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's incredible that we've done this podcast for 60 years or something now, and having looked back on 2019 after all this time, and I think 6 years is a good period to say we have had enough time to properly think about that year, and I can still safely say that LSD was the worst.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we've covered worse since then, but surely it's 2019.
Yeah, because even with tones sounded different. LSD did not.
Yeah.
You know, Ritz, you sound like a genius.
Make it stop.
Ritz, your genius is showing.
Where?
Oh my
I don't know,
god.
SpongeBob. Let's just watch SpongeBob. Ugh. Alright. I think that's 2019 wrapped up.
Yeah.
Join us next year when we talk about 2020.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe not. I don't know. Until then, I have been Ritalin. You can catch me. Maybe, I don't know. I'm pretty slow.
Yeah,
Should be pretty easy to catch me. Yeah.
There's stuff in the description.
We'll put my playlist of my top 100 in there so people can argue about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Domino. Trix has been here as well.
Yes, I have.
We have stuff.
I'm
Trix is in my
rebooting
walls.
Redbubble.
Redbubble. Synthwaves.space, if we still have that.
We do not.
Maybe. We've got a lot of things we don't have anymore. Thanks to everybody who has listened over the past 6 years.
Yeah.
I don't know why you have, but thank you.
Hey, we've gotten over 200 episodes of the main show and probably like close to 60, 70, 80 episodes of other stuff that we've done.
If this is your first episode, I'd recommend starting from episode 1, then going to 2, then 3, then actually doing 7, then 4, then 5, then 6, and then like probably that lost episode. You're gonna have to listen to that, yes. And then I'll pick 125, then 98, and then do the rest in order.
But then you have to re-listen to the other ones when you come back to them and rank their order.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And if you ever catch me out on doing a take that contradicts another take that I've done, or being an idiot, congratulations, you listened to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming to our little show. Hope you have a wonderful night. Make sure to get some popcorn at the concessions. You gotta really support the local programs. If you get the icy, just know that the syrup isn't replaced with blood. So drink at your own risk. And lastly, you haven't seen my cat? I don't know where Manny went.
Nope.
Sure hope.
Usually,
And
when I look for lost cats, I look to the partner to the right of me, but she hasn't stolen any cats recently, so don't know where it is. Sorry, Domino.
That's all right. Just kidding, everyone. Manny's fine. Don't worry about it. Thank you again for listening. Have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.